Hi, we just finished meeting for Wednesday's intonation and pronunciation practice. And on the sentences, we had a lot of words that are spelled the same but have stress on different syllables depending on if it's a noun or a verb. So these may not be typical sentences or something that you might say often, but it's good practice to practice making the stressed syllable higher and longer so that you can really hear a difference. So the first one, how to influence, the verb influence, and the American influence, the noun influence. So together, how to influence the American influence. How to influence the American influence. And number four, produce is the verb, produce, and produce is the noun. So when the verb has stress on the second syllable, the first syllable with the pro becomes pr and not o. So you say producers and produce. And the noun produce keeps the o sound, produce. So together, how producers produce fresh produce. How producers produce fresh produce. And this one has two words that people say, no, just the first, research. Research can be said both ways. Maybe officially, research with stress on the second syllable would be the verb, and research with stress on the the first syllable, would be the noun. But people say both ways for both nouns and verbs. So you can do it either way. I say research for everything, whether it's a noun or a verb. How influencers research blog topics. How influencers research blog topics. And this one we looked up realized, and the dictionary does have all the syllables. Realized, one, two, three. I realized that project was my biggest realization. Realization. I realized that project was my biggest realization. I realized that project was my biggest realization. And seven, um, literally. If you're going to use literally in this kind of way, it's definitely exaggerated and stretched out, and the T changes to a D. Like, that is literally so cool. Like, that is literally so cool. But the question came up, could you say literally? And yes, you can. And object is the verb. So the ob changes to ob. I'm sorry, object. And the noun, object, the ob sounds like ob. Ah, I did not object to the object. I did not object to the object. And you can also say this two ways. You can say insurance or insurance. I say insurance, so I'm going to say it that the insurance for the invalid was invalid. So invalid is a person. Invalid is it's also a noun, but it's a state of not being valid. It's no good anymore. The insurance for the invalid was invalid. And we polish, the PO is like going to sound like pa when it's the action. We polish and then Polish. The stress stays on the same syllable, but now the po sounds like o. Polish furniture. So furniture from Poland would be Polish furniture, but the action of cleaning it is polish, and also the same as nail polish. We we polish Polish furniture. The police hire policemen who police men. I'll just watch my eh. The police hire policemen who police men. So you have to take a tiny break between the last police and men to make sure that it sounds like two separate words instead of the compound word policeman. So it's a tiny little pause. The police hire policemen who police men. And we stopped here with, you've gotten fat. so, so you should never say this, but if you do, here's how to pronounce it. We don't say the T's in gotten, we make gotten. So it's a situation where the N is after the T and they're both in the unstressed syllable. So when you say got and your tongue goes up there for the T, got, and then you just make the N noise, gotten, gotten. This is the same as mountain, the same situation. You've 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 gotten fat. You've gotten fat. I think the stress might be on you or fat. You've gotten fat. You've gotten fat. I don't know why I stressed ga here. And that somebody brought up it's the same as eaten. So have you eaten yet? The same situation where you go to the T, eat, eaten. You don't hear the T at all. So I'm sorry we didn't get to all of these. So I'll put them on the list for next time. So we'll do them first. And then words, we started with alone. So the A changes to alone. Canal, canal. And this word can be a noun with stress on the first syllable, increase, or a verb with stress on the second syllable, increase. And plural, there's a lot of movement in this short word. So when the PL combination happens anytime, you can put your tongue in the L position before you make your P. So when I open my lips for P, my tongue is already in the L position. Pull, pull, pull. So you're already making the L noise. And then So my tongue's in the L position and I have to pull it back and down to make the R. Plur, plur. And then go from the R back to the L position, but keep making sound so you hear the roll. Plural, plural, plural. That's a lot of movement in a short space. Awkward. So the stressed vowel is ah, and the second A and looks like it should be ward, but it's not, it's word. Awkward. And I don't say the k noise at all. Awkward. Automatically. This is 5 syllables, so it's over here. Here. Automatically. Automatically. It can be duh-cly or dick-cly, either way. Automatically. Automatically. And single syllable, the vowel is a. So open, sorry, open and keep your lips back. A, have, have. And category, category. 1, 2, 3, 4, category. And girl's name, Janine, Janine. And this is the situation where you make the n noise. Mountain, mountain. And if it's just the word mount, it's the same ow vowel, but it's a single syllable. So your tongue's going to the N or T position and you just hold it there. Mount, mount. That's it. If it's moon, it's single syllable and it's an oo vowel. So you have to round your lips. Moon, moon. Manhattan is another one where you have the n noise. So it's 3 syllables. Manhattan, Manhattan. This was an example of T changing to D, but the T has to be in the unstressed syllable. So this is possible with water, water, but it's not possible with attack. We have to keep that T a T because it's in the stressed syllable. Attack. Consciousness, consciousness. 1, 2, 3, consciousness. Awesome. This is a good awe word. Awesome. Oh, and this came up with, is it ah or aw? And both are fine. Both are Fine, I didn't put the symbol here for the backwards C that represents ah with rounded lips. Ah, aw, ah, aw. It's a tiny difference. It doesn't change the meaning, it's just different dialects. So, whatever you prefer. Same for dollar, da, or daw, but dollar. And that's different than daughter here. So they look very similar when you look at how they actually sound. Only difference is the L and the D. Dollar with an L and daughter with a D. Daughter. And world. This one comes up a lot because it is difficult. Wor and then back for the L. World. World. Same as squirrel. Squirrel. Awesome. Jenny. The vowel is e. So how I have to practice it. Je. Jenny. Confusion. They look very similar, confusion and Confucius. Besides the N and the S ending, the difference is confusion has a zh noise, and the zh noise is the same position as sh. So if it helps make the sh noise, put your tongue in the right position, you're pushing the right airflow, and make sound, make voice in your throat, and you'll hear zh. Shh. Don't change any position. Shh. That's it. Confusion. And this one, no sound. Confucius. Confucius. And daughter. All right, that's it. So thank you for coming, and I'll put those words or sentences we didn't get to next week's, and hopefully I'll see you next week. Have a good evening.